Creality was nice enough to send over their new K1 Max 3D printer for me to check out, and if you are planning on getting one of these, just keep in mind that it does come in a crate. It's not the heaviest thing in the world, but it is kind of awkward and sharp, and you also have to break this whole thing down. But once you do, you'll find that it's packaged in another box, so they really don't want this thing breaking and shipping, which is great. But anyways, let's take a look at everything that came in the box. So you get some stickers, a user's manual, and an entire roll of filament. There's also a few parts you have to assemble, along with an extra hot end. It also has some nice rubber feet to help cut down on vibration, along with all the tools and some materials for you to use with the printer itself. This is a fully enclosed printer with a nice glass front door. This also has a pretty decent sized print volume of 300 by 300 by 300 millimeters. There's also a sizable part cooling fan on the side of this, and this works alongside the cooling fan in the print head. So with all this cooling, you can print pretty quickly. And according to the sales material, this can print up to 600 millimeters per second, which is pretty quick. It also has a built-in camera, which can do quite a few things, like being able to take a time lapse of your print. You can also check on things live using the app on your phone or computer, along with having some sort of AI detection built in. So if something's on your bed, like a print or a tool, it won't start, and it should alert you if you have any failed prints. But anyways, setting the printer up right out of the box is pretty straightforward, and it kind of just walks you through it all, and it'll run its own self-checks and calibration. But before doing that, you do have to remove 3 screws that are marked with these yellow arrows, along with the film on the build plate. And with all that done, it wants to download an update, so I'm just going to do that, and obviously this connects to the internet, and I just have it connected to my Wi-Fi. So with everything all updated, we can check out the screen, which has a lot of information on the temperatures. It also comes with some pre-sliced files on it. And for the first print, of course, I'm going to do the benchy, and this should only take about 16 minutes to finish. And this is using a ceramic heater on the hot end, so it heats up in about 40 seconds. This also allows you to have a pretty quick flow rate. And the hot end is not the only part that heats up pretty quick, the bed does as well. And the bed itself looks like a nice piece of machined aluminum, and it's using a silicone heater. And it had no problem whatsoever printing this benchy. And by flexing the magnetic build plate, it just kind of pops right off. And overall, it looks like it came out pretty nice. It's kind of hard to see because this is white material, but honestly, benchies are pretty easy to print, and this just more or less shows that the machine is working. And the next thing I'm going to print is the spool holder that's on here, which is going to allow me to relocate my filament, seeing that the default spool holder is on the back of the machine, and can be a little hard to get to at times. And this starts off printing a very long and flat piece. So if you had any first layer defects, it would probably mess up your print. But this printer has LiDAR built into it, so it scans the first layer and makes sure everything is going to be okay. So definitely a welcome feature. And this is definitely going to prevent wasting a bunch of material and time with failed prints due to the first layer. So with this being a fully enclosed machine, sometimes it can actually get a little too warm inside, especially when you're printing lower temperature materials like PLA. And to mitigate this, you can always open up the front or take off the top. And just like the front door, the top piece of this is actually made out of glass, with the rest of the sides being made out of acrylic. I do feel that this machine needs a little bit more lights in it if you're going to be using the time lapse for actual video purposes, but it's definitely good enough for monitoring your print. And this did take a little under 2 hours to finish, and I was able to just pop it right off of the build plate with no problem. And this was printed with the rapid filament that the printer came with, and I'm actually surprised how clean this came out at the speed that it was going. And it definitely works pretty well to relocate your filament. And as you can see, I'm using some ASA to print something now, and this material needs a lot more heat compared to PLA, and if it cools down too quick, it will actually start to warp. And if we take a look at the printer through a thermal camera, you can see how warm everything stays inside of the printer. So I'm definitely not going to have to worry about things warping. As you can see in the time lapse, everything came out fine. And this is actually a prototype car part that I'm working on, and can deal with heat pretty well. And with this being made out of ASA, it's actually weather resistant, along with being UV resistant and a strong material overall, that can also stand up to the heat of being in a car, or just in the sun all day. And the hot end on this printer is able to get up to 300 degrees Celsius, but they are using a different nozzle on the K1 Max versus the K1. The one on the K1 is just a solid brass nozzle, but when it comes to the K1 Max, this is a copper nozzle with a hardened steel tip, so you can print filled materials like glow in the dark or carbon fiber without damaging your nozzle. But even with all that stuff, you can still print just normal PLA or even special PLAs like this one with no problem. And I'm pretty impressed how flawless this came out, even with all these supports just breaking away like nothing. And this is a very clean print, and it only took about 5 hours. I also haven't done any tuning whatsoever on this machine. I just kind of throw in whatever material and set it to default settings. And I'm using Creality Slice for all of my slicing. I also really like this material, and if you're looking for some, this is what it is. And I'll make sure to have links to everything I talk about in this video in the description below. And here's the K1 and the K1 Max side by side. Even with the Max being a bit bigger, I don't feel like it takes up that much more room. And since we're talking about the K1, it definitely had some major problems at launch that the K1 Max seems to have fixed. And I have a full video about the K1 if you're interested, but to sum it all up, after about 20 so hours, my my extruder went bad, and this was happening to a lot of people. So when it was printing, it was under extruding like crazy, or just not extruding whatsoever. And you can see that my original extruder on the K1 is a little bit bent, but they did end up fixing this problem and sent out new extruders to people that had the earlier models of the K1. And it looks like everything now is shipping with the new extruder, including all the K1 Maxes. So this really shouldn't be an issue anymore, but I'm still putting a lot of print time on this machine just to make sure. And so far, anything I've thrown at this just kind of works. Like this articulating dragon, printed with no raft or brim or anything like that, and just came directly off the build plate with no problems, and none of the parts are fused together. I personally like to use textured PEI build plates, and you can get one of them for this printer. It's kind of expensive at $40, but it also looks like the one for the Ender 3 S1 Plus is the same exact size for only $25. So I've ordered one of those, and once I figure out if it works or not, I'll make a short about it and probably add a note to the description of this video. So if you're looking to buy the K1 or the K1 Max, I do feel like they're actually pretty good buys right now, especially at their price points. As of recording this video, the K1 is only $540, and right now they're doing a small promotion that they'll give you an AI camera to put into this and a full roll of filament for just $1. And obviously this is direct competition to the Bamboo Lab P1P printer. And when it comes to the K1 Max, it's about $900, which is definitely a bit more, but you are getting a much larger print volume with the same high speed printing and high quality. So just like anything, this is really going to depend on your own budget along with your printing needs. And if you're just getting into 3D printing in general and don't know if you even want to be doing it, you could always check out the Ender 3 V3 SE, which I just did a video about, and this is only a $200 printer. So if that sounds interesting, check out the video that's on the screen now. But I think that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or what you think. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.